Hello, hello. This is teacher Alberto Hernandez speaking. I hope you're doing fine. Today, what we're going to do is to take a free quiz in a website that will allow us to practice and check our grammar. We're going to take the test from Perfect English Grammar website. The website address is perfect-english-grammar.com, and it is this one. I just opened it in a new tab. This quiz consists on 20 questions. All of them have 4 options. The last one is always, I don't know the answer to these questions, so we're going to work with the 3 options we're given. All of them are multiple option. We're going to be taking some notes through this test to give some examples, to clarify some grammar, so we can get down to the right answer all the time. And what I strongly recommend to do as we go through this test is to try to predict what the answer is as I read through the options. All right, so if we're ready, let's go with the first one. Which one is correct? Which is correct? Are you live in London? Do you live in London? Be you live in London? The correct one is, do you live in London? And this is a simple question that is in simple present. Remember, we ask these kind of questions about everyday situations, about everyday things, things that are real. For example, I live in Mexico, I come from Toluca, I work in Toluca, all that kind of things. It's about present. Next, which is correct? She let me borrow her car. She let me to borrow her car. She let me borrow her car. In this question, we have 2 things that are interesting. First one is she let. How can we use this word let? I can ask you, hey, please let me work. I have many things to do today. Please let me work. Okay, I'll let you work. I let you work. All right. Or as another example, I had a difficult situation with a police officer, and the officer didn't let me go. All right. So as you can see, we have let, the person, and an action. Let the person and an action. Let me go. All right. The other interesting part here is that we have this word, borrow, and this is often confused here in Mexico in Spanish, because we have borrow and lend in English. And in Spanish, it is basically one word, prestar. But in Spanish, we're actually more specific about it. En español somos más específicos con esta palabra, prestar, porque significa yo tomo prestado de alguien más. I borrow from someone else. Okay? On the other hand, you have lend. Yo doy prestado a alguien más. I lend to someone else. Así que estas dos van a ser correctas. They have the same meaning. I borrow money from a friend, and my friend lends me money. All right? I borrow money from a friend, my friend lends me money. Okay? So this is the same meaning. Or he lends money to me. In this case, it is basically I borrow, I take. It means I take. I lend, I give, but only for a moment, right? So going back to our question, she let me borrow her car, she let me to borrow her car, or she let me borrow her car. The main focus in this grammar is let. She let me borrow her car. after the verb let, we use the infinitive without to. There is no to. Let's go with the third question. She is teacher. She is any teacher. She is a teacher. Ready with your prediction? The answer is she is a teacher. It is also common to hear people make this mistake, to have this correction. She is teacher. Esto se debe a que algunas personas desean estructurarlo de la misma manera que lo decimos en español. Ella es maestra. But in English we have to include this letter A. We need to use a or an when we say what someone's job is. I am a teacher. What are you? Are you an engineer? Are you an architect? Okay, let's go with next question. 4. We met at December, we met in December, we met on December. Look, we have these different words. In, on, at. Basically, in is general, on is specific, at is even more specific about the time. In, we usually say a bigger lapse of time. In 2023, even a bigger lapse of time. In the 21st century. In 2023. In winter. In December. In December. All right. Then on. I can use on for a specific date. Mostly it is for dates. On Monday. On my birthday. On this day. On that day. On September the 23rd. And at refers mostly to time. At 12 o'clock, or we can say at noon, which is 12 o'clock in the day, at midnight, at the end of the day. Okay? So in, on, at. And it's possible to say, my birthday is in February. Only like that. It is in February. Or on, my birthday is on February the 1st. And there you have the answer. Okay? On February the 1st. Yep. Okay. So, going back to the question, we met at December, we met in December, we met on December. If you choose we met in December, you're right. Okay? With months, we use the prepositions in. Next. Question 5. He speaks English perfectly. He perfectly speaks English. He speaks perfectly English. So, this is an adverb. This can help describe how we do an action. We're describing actions here. I can say, for example, I draw people well. I cook badly. I run slowly. And you're describing an action. Maybe it's not about me, it's about somebody else. I can say, Adele sings powerfully. You know, these adverbs of manner mostly finish with ly, just like in Spanish they end with mente. Lentamente, poderosamente. There are a couple of exceptions, like well. We don't have goodly in reality. Okay, so how do you do things? And we have this word order. I draw people well. I cook badly. We can mostly describe how we do things like this. Yeah. So I cook badly. We can substitute those verbs. I speak perfectly. I cook badly. You see? Check it out. He speaks English perfectly. This is going to be the right answer. Yes, some of these other options could be okay, but that would be for emphasis. For example, he perfectly speaks English, but we even emphasize the word perfectly. And this is the main focus of this sentence. But this is really an exception. We're going to go with this one. And for you to practice, ask yourselves, how do you draw? How well, excuse me, do you drive? Are you good at cooking? Okay, so you can answer to yourselves. Yes, I cook well, I cook badly, I cook deliciously. Yeah, in this case, he speaks English perfectly. Adverbs of manner, like perfectly, usually go at the end of a clause or at the end of a sentence. All right, let's go with question 6. I'll call you when I'm going to have time. I'll call you when I have time. I'll call you when I will have time. If you look closely, you start with I'll, which is a contraction of I will. I'll call you, I'll call you, I'll call you. We don't really need the second clause, the second part of the sentence, emphasizing on the future. I'll call you when I have time. It even makes sense if you wish to translate it, which is good to understand things. Yo te llamaré cuando tenga tiempo. This is our condition, when I have time, yeah? I'll call you when I have time. I'll call you when I have time. Maybe I'll rest when the day finishes. Okay? We'll visit you when we have the chance. I'll call you when I have time. We use the present simple to talk about the future after words like when, as soon as, and before. As soon as, immediately when I can. Before, previous to another thing. Right? Next, question 7. They went to the UK to study English. They went to the UK to study English. They went to the UK for study English. This is basically like answering the question, how do you use your cell phone? Or what do you use your cell phone for? Our cell phones have many, many different uses. We mostly use them for calling, I believe. I use my cell phone for calling my friends, for calling family. I use my cell phone to call. It is the same. This has the same meaning. This has the same intention. It's possible to say it in both ways. This one is correct, and this one is correct too. But keep in mind that it is for calling, for ing, or to call. Please keep in mind that ing does not refer only to actions going on right now. There can be more meanings to it. There can be more uses of ing. So for calling or to call. This is one of those particular things in English that I don't recommend translating. I use my cell phone for calling. I use my cell phone to call. Maybe you use it for something different. You use your cell phone for watching videos. You use your cell phone to watch videos. To, and the basic form of the verb, for ing. Okay, so what's correct? They went to the UK to study English. This is not possible. They went to the UK to study English. This is the right one. For study doesn't make sense. Okay, we use to plus infinitive, something's called the infinitive of purpose, to talk about why we do something in English. Let's move on to question 8. She wants some of the cake. She wants some of cake. She wants some of. Okay, this is about asking for food. She wants some of the cake. That would be a small portion of something. And there are some other ways we can say the same thing. She would like some of the cake. If we said she would like or she wants a cake, this means a whole cake, a complete cake. Or this could also be a little different, not a complete cake. Not everyone eats a complete cake. She would like or she wants a slice of cake. This is a portion. Yeah, you know, you can have a slice of pizza, a slice of pie, a slice of cake. All right, even a slice of ham that you can put in a sandwich, along with a slice of cheese. Yeah. Or maybe you can slice vegetables, and you can put some slice of pickles, a slice of carrot. Okay. Other similar sentences with a different meaning. She would like or she wants a little cake. It doesn't refer to a cake of a small size. It is only that she wants a small portion. Or she would like a lot of cake, a big portion of cake. All right? Keep in mind that for other situations, we cannot count, for example, chilaquiles, popcorn. I don't eat 1 chilaquil, 2 chilaquiles, 3 chilaquiles. I don't count them. The same as popcorn, or the same as some substances like water, tea, coffee, right? I just say, I would like some coffee. I would like, double E, excuse me. I would like some chilaquiles. It's not a specific quantity. So for this one, she would like some of the cake. We use some of with before a noun that also has a word like they or my. We use some directly before a noun. I want some cake. We can't use some of alone without a noun. Next question, question 9. She slept during 4 hours. She slept since 4 hours. She slept for 4 hours. Remember here the different uses of these words? For and since. I can tell you, for example, I have been working at the company where I work, at my company, for 10 years in total. This refers to the total time. I have been working at my company since 10 years ago. This is the starting time in the past, since 10 years ago, right? Here referred to the starting point, for example, and I have been working at my company since 2013, all right? Which is the same as 10 years ago. Then we're talking about the total time for this activity. So she slept for 4 hours, okay? We don't use the word during because that is a false cognate with Spanish, so it doesn't mean durante. Exactly durante, like the duration of something, but as simultaneous activities. If you want to use the word during, it could be something like this. She was sleeping during the conference. Ella se estaba durmiendo durante la conferencia. So the conference and sleeping are two different activities and they are simultaneous activities. She was sleeping during the conference. Okay, so it's not the same use as in Spanish. As I told you, it is a false cognate. So the right answer is she slept for 4 hours. And we go on to the next question. Okay, this is when we say how long something lasted in English. We need for. So, how long did you sleep last night? You can say. For how long? You could also say. For how long did you sleep last night? I slept for 7 hours. Yeah, in total. All right. Next question. It's Sunday and there is no work. I mustn't get up early. It's Sunday and there is no work. I don't have to get up early. It's Sunday and there is no work. I can't get up early. Remember, this is a little different. Can, have to, and must. If we use them in an affirmative way, they tend to be very similar. Because at work, some people have this rule. Hey, you must wear a uniform. Of course, you have to wear a uniform, and it makes sense. You need to wear a uniform, right? And you should wear a uniform. Of course, they are all similar, but the difference relies here, mostly noticeable in English. This is mandatory, this is obligatory. You must. You must arrive on time to work, because this is obligatory. Okay? Then you have to. This is necessary. You really and mostly definitely have to do this. Let's contrast this a little bit in negative. You mustn't arrive late to work. You mustn't. At the end of the day, you don't have to clean your workplace. There is another person that can do it, so this is not necessary, right? In this case, it is not necessary for me. Okay, this is the same as need to. You don't need to work. You don't need to clean your workplace. And you should, well, this is just a recommendation. You shouldn't. It can be a good or a bad idea. You shouldn't take a taxi alone in the street at night. So, in this case, we refer to a recommendation or a suggestion. You shouldn't. You don't have to. You mustn't. So, in this case, it's Sunday and there's no work. I don't have to get up early. It's not necessary. I can't could be that I don't have that chance, I don't have that possibility. I mustn't is a prohibition, so I don't have to. We use don't have to when there is no obligation. Mustn't means it's not okay to do something. And of course, in this example, it's okay to get up early and it's okay to stay in bed. Next one. I wish that I had a new car. I wish that I have a new car. I wish that I will have a new car. So this is a wish and this is not real. I'm wishing something that I don't have. For expressing wishes, we emphasize that unreal situation using past. I wish I had a car, a new car. And also emphasizing that it is not real. I wish I were, not I was, as reporting in past. This emphasizes that it is not real. I wish I were rich, for example. Interesting thing, if you put this into negative, I wish I didn't have so many things to do. I wish I didn't have. Or even, I wish I weren't so busy today, maybe. Even for another person and get it real clear. He wishes he didn't have a debt with the bank to owe money. He wishes he weren't in debt with the bank. Okay? To practice this, I can ask you, what do you wish you had? What do you wish you were? Do you wish you were taller, richer, faster, or maybe it's also possible in another place? I wish I were in the beach. Okay? I wish I were in the beach. So for this one, the first one is correct. I wish that I had a new car. Do you wish you had a new car? We use wish plus past simple to make wishes for unreal things in the present. Next question, this is question 12. She told me that I sit down. She told me to sit down, or she told to sit down. Look. There are interesting things in this question because you start with she told me. This is when somebody gives you direct information. I mean, to you. When someone is speaking to you, she told me. This could be communicating a message directly to someone, or asking another person for something. Asking, requesting. It's a little bit different from using the word say. If we use it for communicating, you can use it in these two ways. She said to me, or she told me. If we use only she said, that is communicating in general. For example, I could say the president says many things in his morning conferences. But he never tells me, hey, Alberto, hey, Alberto, don't break the law, right? It's never direct toward one person in specific, right? Tell me, that would be with a person. A very good tip to remember this one is to think of a secret. It doesn't mean anything to people if I go to a public place and I shout and say, hey, I don't know, Pedro was unfaithful and cheated with Cindy. Yeah, they don't know who they are. I tell you a secret because you know exactly what it means. Okay, so she told me. In this case, it is an instruction. She told me. She told me to do something, to sit down. Maybe negative. She told me not to sit down. This is a negative instruction. Okay? If this were an omission, it would be she didn't tell me to sit down. This is an omission. Something that maybe she forgot to tell me. Basically, this is ella me dijo que no me sentara. It's a negative instruction. Ella no me dijo que me sentara. That is an omission. There was no clarification. Okay? So for this one, we're going to choose, she told me to sit down. She told me to sit down, because it is an instruction, okay? When we report orders or instructions with tell, you can use to plus infinitive. We must use an object like me or him after tell. Next one, for 13. My bike has stolen, my bike be stolen, or my bike got stolen. A common mistake with this one is my bike has stolen. That would be present perfect, but my bike doesn't conduct actions in general. My bike has stolen. It is not possible to say that. That would be like saying mi bicicleta ha robado. But my bike cannot do that. My bike is not a person and cannot steal things. My bike has been to many places. Yeah, that is true. Mi bicicleta ha estado en muchos lugares. My bike be stolen doesn't work in this way. My bike got stolen. Yeah, that one works. We can use get for many different things. Basically, when things change, let me explain to you. For example, my bike got stolen, and some other people got an action, got something on them. My friend got sick. My my brother got married. Okay. My what else could it be? My pen got lost. So basically, is when something happens to another thing or to a person. Basically, mi bicicleta fue robada, mi amigo se enfermó, mi hermano se casó, mi pluma se perdió. You see? So when something happens to a thing or a person. In this case, we're going to choose my bike got stolen. What has gotten stolen at your job? We can use get to make a passive sentence instead of the verb be. Here it means my bike was stolen. Question 14. She used to get up early. She does it every day. She used to getting up early. She does it every day. She used to getting up early. She does it every day. We're talking here about a couple of different things. It's an old habit. She used to. She used to get up early. Is the correct sentence, and it refers to an old habit. Okay, she used to. This is basically like saying solía. Ella solía levantarse temprano. I think about myself. I used to watch cartoons on TV. That was an old habit when I was a kid. And I used to watch Caritele, for example, on TV Azteca. Maybe I didn't use to watch soap operas or telenovelas. I didn't use to watch telenovelas. Okay, I really didn't use to do that. And here we have another one. She is used to. She's used to getting up early. That means that this is a current habit. Let's contrast that. She used to get up early before. She is used to getting up early now. Ella está acostumbrada. Basically, this could be a synonym. She is accustomed to getting up early. She's accustomed to getting up early. Maybe I could ask you, are you accustomed to getting up early? Are you accustomed to working online? Yes, I am accustomed to do it, or not. The key to solving this one is she does it every day. So this happens now, it doesn't happen in the past. She is used to getting up early right now. When we talk about a present habit or custom, costumbre, we use be plus used to plus verb with ing. Question 15. I ate the cake you bought. I ate the cake that you bought it. I ate the cake that you bought. Okay, very quickly. I ate the cake. You brought cake. The past of bring, yeah? I ate the cake you brought. Or I ate the cake that you brought. So I am putting these two sentences together, right? In this case, they use the verb bought. Remember, we use buy, bought in past, bring, brought in past. Okay, 1 R of difference. But what did you eat today? I ate the sandwich that my girlfriend made. She made a sandwich. I ate it. I ate the sandwich that my girlfriend made. Is it possible to eliminate that? Yes, it is possible. I ate the sandwich my girlfriend made. Okay. Question for you guys. What did you eat today? Try to mention those two sentences and then you put it together. All right. I ate the cake that you brought. We don't use that you brought it because it means the cake. I ate the cake that bought you. That means that the cake can buy a person and it doesn't make sense. Yo comí el pastel que te trajo. It doesn't make sense, right? I ate the cake you bought. We can drop the that from relative clauses when the relative pronoun is the object of the relative clause. Basically, that is optional. Could you tell me where is the station? Could you tell me where will be the station? Could you tell me where the station is? These questions have some different intentions, and actually some of them are not totally correct. One of them is in the future, one of them is in present, but what is the right question? Only one of them makes sense grammatically. This is called an indirect question or an embedded question. Embedded question. This basically means a question inside another question, because this is very polite, very right manner to ask a question starting, could you? Do you mind if I ask you? Can you tell me? could you tell me, of course. It's like a question inside a question. Do you mind if I ask you, excuse me here, if I ask you, can you tell me? Can you tell me? Here we have basically two kinds of questions. The ones that are yes or no, we're going to include if. Can you tell me if the bank is open? That's it. It's only yes or no. Yes, I can tell you if the bank is open. Can you tell me when it opens? Yes, I can tell you when it opens. Basically, the second part of this question is as an affirmation. It opens at 9 a.m. It opens at 9 a.m. This second part of the sentence is like an affirmation. The bank is open. That's an affirmation. So we have could you, can you tell me? The second part is an affirmation, and if you notice, we don't have do or does in this kind of question. We don't use do or does. That letter S of does returns to the verb. Yeah, this is to ask more polite questions. Okay, so could you tell me where the station is? This is a topic that requires a little bit more practice. It is indirect questions or embedded questions. So can you tell me where the station is? All right. We use normal word order, subject and verb, in the second part of an embedded question. Okay, next. Question 17, we almost finished. I failed the exam. I should have studied more. I failed the exam. I should have studied more. I failed the exam. I should have studied more. Basically, this is the same as conditionals. Take a look. Conditionals, comic by Paula. I only remember the name of the person who did this. The first conditional is if I study, I will pass. I do something, I get something. First conditional. We usually include if. We usually include will. This is an everyday thing. Second conditional. If I studied, I would pass. There is a chance. There is an opportunity. There is a possibility. I can take it or maybe not. If I invested money, I could get more money. If I invested, I could get profit. The third conditional is a regret. This girl didn't study and this girl didn't pass. If I had studied, I could have passed. Hey, if I had taken my medicine, I couldn't have gotten sick. As you can see, the second part here is the verb in past participle. All right, so check it out. It's this. I failed exam. I should have studied more. I should have studied more. It is the same. I should have studied more. I regret that. I failed exam. I should have studied more. Debería haber estudiado más. It works in the same way as that third conditional. Okay? I should have studied more. We use should have and past participle to talk about regrets in the past, bad decisions. I give you one more example. Yeah. I shouldn't have bought that motorcycle. I never use it. So, as a question for you to practice, do you have any regret? Did you take any bad decision? Do you have any regrets? Okay. Oh, What happened here? Question 18. I went through it very fast with the mouse, so I couldn't see it. I will have finished everything by Tuesday. Out of the different options, I will have finished everything. Yo habré terminado todo para el martes. Okay, I will have finished. What will you, question for you, what will you have finished by next week? Okay, we use the future perfect, will have, and past participle to underline that an action will be complete before a second point in the future, which is Tuesday. We often give the second point in a time phrase with by. Okay, next. This one is a little bit more intricate. Question 19 of 20. Never have I had such an excellent meal. Never I have had such an excellent meal. Never have had I such an excellent meal. Oh well. This is called an inversion. So you change the order of the words in a sentence to emphasize. Excuse me. To emphasize something here. Yeah. That would be never have I had such an excellent meal. Have I had such an excellent meal. Never have I watched such a great movie. Which movie makes you think this way? Never have I watched such a great movie. To give you another example of inversions, this is the same to say, I don't have any money. But it's the same if I say, I have no money. Yeah? I have no money. Just as a very quick example, right? We change the order of the words just to make some emphasis. Never have I had such an excellent meal. You try to say it too. Never have I had such an excellent meal. Never needs to be followed by inversion when it's at the beginning of the sentence. We put the auxiliary verb first, then the subject, then the main verb. And the final question, 20 out of 20. He stopped to smoke. He hasn't started again. He stopped smoke. He hasn't started again. He stopped smoking. He hasn't started again. For this, you could have two situations. He stopped to smoke, to have a cigarette. He stopped smoking. These two sentences look very similar but are different. He stopped to smoke. He stopped with the intention of smoking. He stopped maybe to have a break in his day, to have a cigarette break. He stopped smoking. He stopped that habit. That is an old habit. I can say, for example, that I stopped to have lunch. I stopped work. I needed a break. Yeah. And in a very natural way, I could also say that, well, I don't go to the gym anymore. I stopped going last month. All right. Those are very different meanings. So here, he stopped to smoke. He hasn't started again. This is the key. He stopped smoke. He stopped smoking. He hasn't started again. Okay? We use stop with the gerund verb plus ing when we mean to stop something forever. And That's it. We had one mistake because of the click with the mouse, but what we're going to do to end this, to finish this, is to go through all the correct answers very quickly. Yeah, take a look. Which is correct? Do you live in London? She let me borrow her car. She is a teacher. We met in December. He speaks English perfectly. I'll call you when I have time. They went to the UK to study English. She wants some of the cake. She slept for 4 hours. It's Sunday and there is no work. I don't have to get up early. I wish that I had a new car. She told me to sit down. My bike got stolen. She is used to getting up early. She does it every day. I ate the cake that you bought, or I ate the cake you bought. Could you tell me where the station is? I failed the exam. I should have studied more. I will have finished everything by Tuesday. Never have I had such an excellent meal. He stopped smoking. He hasn't started again. Okay, and there you go. I hope this is very useful for you, and try checking your own answers. Were you correct in your predictions? Okay, and well, just keep in mind these little corrections so you can work with them, and in the end you can take the exam on your own. Okay, basically what can help you a lot is to do your own examples, come up with your own examples with your own information. Okay, so this was teacher Alberto Hernandez talking to you, going through this example of free quiz from Perfect English Grammar, and thank you very much. See you next time.